Welcome to episode 7 of this Football Manager 2021 Journeyman series, where you join me at the end of my second season with the Icelandic club Magni. And as you can see, it was a pretty good year. We finished third, 5 points off the playoff place, unfortunately. But I'm chuffed. I'm chuffed with this season. Remember last year we finished 8th. We really struggled to find a formula that got us playing free-flowing football. And I drew 11 games, 10 of which were in a row, of course. But this year, it was some nice free-flowing football. We managed to score 44 goals, which was the third highest in the league. We did concede quite a few goals, but yeah, a pleasing season. Progress. I'm starting to think about my future again. I feel like I should give this club a third season. But the only issue I find with this Icelandic league is the season finishes in September and it doesn't start again. The league season doesn't start again until May. So it's like, well, it's half a year of not doing much. So I don't know, but I am enjoying my time here. It's been helped by the fact that, of course, I've signed the likes of Jordan Thompson, Tobermoor United legend. We've got Chris McVeigh, we've got Connor Wilson, we've got Larson, who was at my previous club in Denmark. So it's been nice to sign some old faces, which has helped solidify my relationship with this club in Iceland, I suppose. I've managed to get the tactics right. We've gone with a 4-2-4 formation with wingers, I suppose, a 4-2-2-2 with wingers. We're playing an attacking, direct style of play, getting the ball out wide, distributing to the flanks. It's just working really well. It took a bit of tweaking to finally get it how I wanted, because although we finished 5 points off the playoffs, you're probably thinking, well, there was a chance to actually get into that playoff spot. But there wasn't really, because as you can see, I won the last few games, apart from a draw in there. Up to that point, it was kind of like, as you can see, 5-3, 4-3, but there were 3-2 defeats in there, 4-2 defeat, 4-1. So it was going either way, but I managed to figure out how to make it a little bit more solid. Essentially, I was playing attacking fullbacks, and then I realised, why? Why do I need to play attacking fullbacks? Let's just put them on support. And it definitely helped, as you can see here. After that point, 1-0, 1-0, 0-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-0, 1-0, 1-0. The defence was completely transformed. And I just wish I'd done that before, because if I had, we probably would have got, well, we might even have won the league, I don't know. We really were impressive. Only 4 defeats all season. You'll notice one of my players in the top goal scoring charts there. Anyway, let's go back to the start of the season and I'll just show you some transfers this year to help me improve this team. So we did lose a few players, no one of real note, apart from maybe my left winger who decided to leave. He just up sticks, left without a word, which he was a bit of a surprise, to be honest, but it didn't matter too much. We brought in a Canadian, Milos Jandric, central midfielder, deep line playmaker. The problem with bringing in the likes of this chap is he's not an EU player, and you can only play you can only play at any one time 3 EU players in your starting 11. Not even in the starting 11, just on the pitch at any one time. So when I was making substitutions, it would often block me from making a substitution, like bringing Jordan Thompson off the bench, for example, if I already had 3 non-EU players, which was frustrating at times. Then we brought in a 19-year-old Dane on the left wing, Jensen, who had an okay season, nothing spectacular, 6 goals, 4 assists, 9 goals in all competitions, as you can see there. He's I don't know, I couldn't really get the best ratings out of my wingers at times, which is a little bit frustrating. And then lastly, halfway through the season, we brought in a left back, Larson. I really needed to find a left back, and suddenly this guy just popped up, a 28-year-old Icelandic regen, and he just appeared from nowhere. He'd only spent 1 season in football. He just suddenly at the age of 27 decided to start playing football in the Icelandic First Division for Vestri. And I signed him on a free, and he appeared a few times. Once again, even though a lot of the players down the wings for us, I can't seem to get the best ratings out of the fullbacks and the wingers, even when I went more defensive. Getting the rating, but that doesn't matter massively as long as I'm winning games, and I did win games. I like the strikers, and the best striker of all this season, although he wasn't top goal scorer, was Aaron Benedictson. Oh, someone did comment, by the way, someone from Iceland did comment saying you tend to call the players, if they're Icelandic, after, their first name, Aaron, because that is your dad's name. You're the son of Benedict, I suppose. So we call him Aaron, nice and simple. But yeah, he came through my academy at the end of last season and blew everyone away. He really did. 15 goals in all competitions in 26 games. Really very impressive from a 17-year-old. He was 16 at the start of the season. Our best striker, though. Far and away our best striker at the age of 16. Very impressive. But our top goal scorer this season was Jeppe Bay Larsen, who I signed from Marienlyst, my old club, of course. Last season, he came in, scored 3 goals in 8 appearances towards the end of last season. But this year, 16 goals in 23 starts and 5 appearances. Yeah, a really impressive performance. You're probably wondering about the main man, Jordan Thompson, though. Didn't feature as much this year. He's not quite up to the standard of Larsen and Aaron, unfortunately. But he did manage to score 5 goals in 3 starts and 13 sub-appearances. And a couple of the goals, late goals once again, that just seems to be a speciality these days. This chap, Kristin Rosbergson, I don't know what's going on here, because he's actually retired from professional football. But is it because he's now, is it semi-professional football, I suppose? He's not retired from semi-professional football. I did say in the last video he was meant to be retiring. But for whatever reason, he's still playing for me. And he did appear a number of times this year. Didn't actually score any goals. I got a couple assists. But yeah, I'm a bit confused about that. Hansen, who was my main man last year and scored 12 goals in all competitions, was a bit of a bit part player, I suppose. 4 goals this year in 6 starts and 12 sub-appearances. So that's the strikers. Let's just go back down through the midfield. My main right winger this year was Herman, who played quite well. 5 goals, 8 assists. But once again, trying to get him above like a 6.9 average rating is just really hard. I can't seem to get the best out of the wingers. Same with my midfielders. Jandrich played in that deep line playmaker role, which I have recently switched to being an advanced playmaker role. But him and also Victor, who played in that role, both of them really struggled with their average ratings. They got a few assists between them, but it was a real struggle, and I don't know why. And then the other player to play alongside him, alongside that position in midfield, just as a bog standard central midfielder and support, was actually Louis Warder, who had played at right back last year and did okay. And once again this year, okay. I don't know, just average ratings apart from strikers and centre backs and maybe the goalkeeper. Yeah, I'm just finding it really hard. But like I said, it doesn't matter. As long as I'm winning games, it doesn't really matter if the average ratings are poor. Replacing Wardle at right back was Afiti, who predominantly played in that position this season. Maybe a position I want to improve unless I move Wardle back to full back next year. Sorry, this is a bit of a rambly video. I know in the last couple of videos I've kind of gone through the season and stopped at various points. But this is more of an update for you on my Magni progress. So yeah, sorry if it's a bit rambly, but yeah, I just want to talk about my players. Because it's season update style videos, you don't really get to know the players as well, so I want to try and get you to be interested in the players, I suppose. Having said that, if I then move clubs, we start all over again. That's the difficult thing about Journeyman series, I suppose. It's because I've now moved around 3 times. Spent 3 years at Tippermoor United. We had that connection. Didn't get a connection at Marienlyst, unfortunately. But then Magni, I do feel a connection. I promise you, I really do feel connected with this team. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to apply for jobs if something really takes my fancy. Because I would quite like to have a 3rd season with Magni. But if there's a really good opportunity to move on, maybe like the Finnish Premier League, that'd probably be above my level, wouldn't it? 2-star? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe, if an opportunity comes up and I really fancy that job, maybe move into the Icelandic Premier Division, for example, then I will apply for it. But I'm not going to go crazy and apply for 20 jobs because I will get sacked if that happens. I've gone a bit off topic here, but yeah, Tippermoor United have actually been relegated to the division they started in, as you can see here. So yeah, relegated last year. No, 2 years ago now. They survived last year. But yeah, all the way back to the start. I have stolen a few of their players, of course, but without me, they're just nothing, I'm afraid. Still a couple players in there. McPartland, remember him, and Alex Norris, and Irvine. But I think everyone else, they're all new players, aren't they? So, yeah, it's a shame. But I took them as far as I could. Anyway, back to my current team, Magni. Where was I? So other players, I've shown Larison. Connor Wilson didn't play a huge number of games this season. He is a backup. But he's only not... I've got such a young team on the whole. Gislason can play right or left back. He was my first choice left back until Larison came in. Or Magnus, as we should really call him. My best centre-back is definitely Einarsson. Fantastic. Good average rating, as you can see there, above 7. And he's clearly superior to the other centre-backs in the team. I need to find someone else that can play alongside him. Haldrason, or Alpha, wasn't really doing it. His average rating's pretty poor in the league. But then I stumbled across... Well, I already had Sverres Fredriksson in the team, but I had to play him because of a suspension, and he just cemented his position alongside Alpha. So, yeah, I don't know. I would quite like to improve that position. And lastly, Arnoldson in goal. He's been good. 6.88. Obviously, he's kept clean sheets in the last few games. McVeigh is the backup, or Christensen, our young 16-year-old goalkeeper that came through the academy last year. McVeigh he didn't actually make any appearances this season. But I reckon I can win the league next year. I think I've stumbled across a tactic that is working really well. We've won the last few games, as you can see here. Jeppe Pay Larsen, really impressive towards the end of the season as well, scoring lots of goals. I've got good strikers. I don't need to improve that position. Just a few tweaks here and there, and I think we'll be fine. Unfortunately, the financial situation in the club's not the best. I am spending well under the wage budget, and I've spent hardly any. I think we spent £300 on Larsen, and that's it. But for whatever reason, it's not great. I don't think we get many people turning up for the matches. Oh, to be fair, at home on the last day of the season, 417. That's not bad. But that was against the top of the table FH, who got promoted. 403. Yeah, no, it's not a bad attendance. I mean, considering the population of the village is about 360. That's not bad at all. One away fan, by the way, for this match. Absolute hero. Forgot to talk about the cups. Predictably, we didn't qualify from our League Cup group, but we did do quite well, finishing third. We're unlikely to qualify because of all the top division teams competing in that competition. And then the Icelandic Cup, we won 5-3 against a lower league team, and then lost 4-2, unfortunately, against Grota, who finished just above us in the Icelandic First Division. So that was the end of the Icelandic Cup adventure. Well, there's not really much else to talk about, I'm afraid. Let me just think. Yeah, doing a good job. Got a B on the report card. Development centre wise, as I've said before, remember we share a youth team. I'm not entirely sure how it works because there's so many players in here. Some of them belong to me and some of them don't. There wasn't really any outstanding players this year. The best was 1.5 star current ability, so I just put them all into the youth team. Benediktsson is clearly and easily the best player that's come through our academy. At the very start when he came through, he already had 3-star current ability, and he is improving dramatically. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure about these attributes, but I kind of feel like perhaps he's a future Iceland striker, like first team, national team striker. I'm not entirely sure. I'd hope so. He's improved quite a bit already. Unfortunately, training-wise, of course, we're a part-time team, so we don't train very often. I don't have the best coaches. So if you look here, I'm having to do quite a few of the sessions, and I'm not allowed any more coaches. I do go to my board every now and then and try and ask for better facilities. They're never going to improve the facilities because it's too expensive. But I possibly could ask for more coaches and try and improve the training that way. There's different ways around things, I suppose. I do have a couple scouts going out and looking for possible signings. Of course, remember, I do have the rule where I can't use the player search function. I can only look at players that my scouts have scouted. So if they're on this list, I can click on them, even if they've got like 34 knowledge. remember, I do have all of the attributes unlocked, which is why I've given myself that challenge of only being able to look at players that appear in this scouting list. It does mean scouting is very important. Unfortunately, I can only really scout Iceland because that's what I can afford in the scouting budget. Sometimes the odds other non-Icelandic national does appear in here for whatever reason. I mean, that's how I found Afiti, that's how I signed Jandrich and Larson. I'm not entirely sure how they pop up, but they just do. Also, I'm allowed to sign players I've had at previous clubs because, of course, I've got that knowledge. So that's the rules, just to remind you of that. But yeah, I think we'll end it there. Thank you for watching episode 7. Bit of a rambly one. I'm not sure if there's going to be any more videos before Christmas, so if you do celebrate Christmas, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, have a great day anyway, regardless. It's obviously tough times at the moment. I was meant to be going to spend time with my parents, but they live in Tier 4 in Essex, so I'm going to be at home with Jenny, my wife, and just having a quiet one, I suppose. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough times, and not really spoken about it, but yeah, this year, it really has been mad. But here's to a better 2021. I'm not particularly positive for the start of the year, but hopefully as the year progresses, things will improve. Take care, stay safe. Until next time, enjoy FM21. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.